mentioned, I'm using this book as the reference. So the first thing that we are going to do is chain the length of the book. So just grab your yarn. So this is the color that I'll be using for my book cover. And we're going to be making a slip knot. Let me just put this aside. So just hold the end of your yarn like this and pull up the longer end. Make a X like this. Then grab your hook, insert it into this space right here, pull up the second strand and just tighten it. So once you're done with the slip knot, you are just going to start chaining. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So just keep doing this till you reach the length of your book. So let me just show you. Like I said, this is the book that I'll be using, and this right here is how much I've chained already. So I'm going to chain till I reach this end. So that will be the length of my book cover. So here I'm done with the chains, and as you can see, I have reached the length of my book. So I'm just gonna add one chain extra since we don't want the book cover to be tightly kept to the book, bending it, and we want to have a little bit room. So just one chain extra than the length, and then we are going to chain two. Then you yarn over and insert your hook into the third chain. So one, two, and then I skip these two chains and do a half double crochet in the third chain. So just do a half double crochet. Now for this entire row, you are going to be doing half double crochets. Just yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through all. So you can keep doing this till you reach the other end. So the number of rows that you do will determine the width. So if you can see, let me just show it to you right here. If I keep it like this, one row is just covering this much of the book. So now I'm going to continue doing rows till I reach this end of the book. Once we reach this end, we are going to start building up the spine. Since we want the book cover to fold with the book, we are going to be building the spine separately. So we're going to continue doing rows until we cover the front side of the book. So let me just insert my hook back here. Like I said, just continue doing half double crochets for this entire row and continue doing the same rows of half double crochets till you cover the front of the book. So let me just meet you once I'm done. So once you're done with the first row, I would suggest you guys to check if the measurement is correct for the book. So just take up your book and just put it like this. As you can see, there's a little bit extra, but I wanted it to be a little extra. So I would suggest the same for you guys as well. Crochet maybe a chain or two extra rather than the exact length of the book, since we don't want our pages to start folding once we put the book cover on. And you just have to continue crocheting rows like this till you cover the front of the book. So for the second row, just chain two, yarn over, turn your work around, insert a half double crochet in the next stitch. And then we are going to keep doing rows of half double crochets till we cover the front of the book. And then once we are done with that, I will show you guys how to do the spine for the book. So for now, just continue rows of half double crochet till you cover the front of the book. So I'll meet you guys once I'm done. So here I'm done crocheting enough rows to cover the front of my book, and we will be crocheting 3 extra rows before we get started on the spine. So these 3 extra rows are basically what is going to keep your book cover in place with the book. So let me just show you what I mean. If we do not have these 3 rows, this is how the cover is going to look, and it's just going to keep falling apart like this. So we need something to hold the book cover together with the book. So the 3 extra rows that we are going to be crocheting will kind of just fold up like this to the book, and as you can see, it takes up exactly 3 rows. That is 1, 2, and 3. So that is why we are going to be crocheting extra 3 rows before we get started on crocheting the spine for the book cover. So just once you crochet enough rows to cover the front of your book, crochet an extra of 3 rows, and then I'll show you how to crochet the spine for the book cover. So chain 2, turn your work, let me just get it on. Turn your work around, yarn over, insert in the next stitch, and keep crocheting rows of half double crochet until you're done with 3 rows. So here I am done with the extra 3 rows, and in total I've done 19 rows. You have to keep a count of the rows that you did here, because once you're done with the spine, you're going to crochet the exact number of rows for the other side as well, because we are just basically going to be crocheting one big rectangle, and the spine of the book cover is what makes place for this particular part of the book. So the number of rows that you crochet for the spine, you are going to crochet to cover this part of the book. Like how we crochet these set of rows to cover the front of the book, the number of rows that you're going to crochet on the spine is going to be to cover this part of the book. So if you can see, I've done 19 rows here, and when I put it like this on my book and I take out to make the flap. Let's just call this the flap, okay? So if I put the flap properly out like this, you can see that it covers entire, you can see that it properly covers the front of the book. And now we are going to be starting out on the spine. So for the spine of the book, just like any other row, we are going to be chaining 2. So 1, 2, yarn over, turn your work around. Now you can see that there is a front loop, that is this one, and a back loop. So for the spine, we are going to be crocheting in the front loop only. So if you see that this is the front of your book cover, we want the spine to fall down a little bit, because that is how the shape of the book is. So that is why we are going to be crocheting in this loop only. So just hold up your work, yarn over. You see there are 2 loops, right? This one, that is the back loop, and this the front loop. So we are going to crochet half double crochets in the front loop only. So normally we would insert our hook like this, but right now we are going to be inserting it in the front loop only. So it's going to be like this. So we just yarn over here, back and front. So we insert our hook in the front loop only, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through all. So yarn over. Let me just show that again. This right here is how we would have inserted normally. Okay. This is the front loop. So we are going to be inserting only in this loop. So we yarn over, insert your hook through this loop. So just insert it like this and pull through, and yarn over and pull through all. So we just keep doing this for the first row of the spine only. So we follow this only for the first row. As you can see that there's like a tiny little build happening here. So when I place this against my book like this, you can see that this build is what is making the work to just kind of fall down a little bit to cover the spine of the book. So only the first row you're going to be crocheting in the front loop only. So just yarn over, insert it in the front loop, yarn over, pull through all. So just keep doing this till you reach the end of the first row, and I will show you how to start off the next row. So here, as you can see, I'm done with the first row for my spine, and if you see, it kind of has this build up. So when I put it against my book, you can see that it's falling to the spine like this, and the first row only covers a little bit of it. So I'll need to crochet at least 3 rows to cover the entire of my book. For the second row, we are going to do normal row of half double crochets. So just chain 2, yarn over, turn your work, and do half double crochets how we normally would. So insert your hook through both the loops rather than just the front, and continue doing your half double crochet. And I will be doing only one row of the normal half double crochets because I think that is enough to cover my spine. So just put the book cover against your book and you can see that one row is enough for me to cover my book, and then there's a little bit left. So the last row of the spine, I'm going to crochet it exactly the same as my first row of the spine, but this time we are going to be doing it in the back loop only. So I'll show you how that is done once I finish this row as well. You can do the second row as well if you think that your book is thick and you need maybe 3 or 4 rows to cover it. The first row should be front loop only, and the last row of the spine should be back loop only. So depending on how thick your book is, you're going to crochet this. So I'm just going to continue doing one row of normal half double crochets. You can do more than one if your book is thick, and you can do less also if your book is thin. So if your book is comparatively thinner and you don't need this row of normal half double crochets, you can just do the last row that I'm going to be doing to finish off rather than having a middle row of normal half double crochets. So I'll tell you how to do the last row once I'm done with this. So here, as you guys can see, I have done 2 rows of normal half double crochets after the first row of the spine. So this right here is the first row. So when I place it against my book like this, you can see that there's like a very clear bend in the cover to cover the spine, and my 2 rows of normal half double crochets have almost covered the entire spine, but there's just a little bit left. So I'm going to be doing the last row of the spine, and for the last row we are going to be doing half double crochets in the back loop only. So I have done my 2 normal half double crochets here and the chain 2, and now I have to start crocheting on this side. So I'm just gonna place my book cover like this, and you can see that I have to do half double crochets in the back loop only. So for the first row of the spine, we did row of half double crochets in the front loop only. So for the back, we are going to be doing row of half double crochets in the back loop only. So it is similar to the first row. It's just that instead of, let me just point it out better for you. For the first row, we did half double crochets in this loop right here. But for the last row of the spine, we are going to be doing it in this row, in this loop. So just yarn over, and you see this is the front, this is the back. So in this back loop right here, we are going to insert our hook. Oops, never mind. In this back loop, we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, and do a half double crochet. So yarn over. This is the front, this is the back. So we are going to insert it only into the, let me just, yeah, only into the back, right? So just yarn over, insert it only into the back, yarn over, pull through. So the basic gist of it is you start crocheting the first row of the spine once you've done enough rows to cover the front of your book. The first row of the spine, you crochet half double crochets in the front loop only, and then you do enough rows of normal half double crochets to cover the thickness of your book. And then the last row of the spine, that is when you have either covered the entire thickness or you just have a little bit left. Either of those situations work. Then for the last row, you do half double crochets in the back loop only. I hope you guys understood the pattern, and if there are any queries or any confusion that you guys are facing, just comment down below and I'd be more than happy to reply to them. So just continue doing the last row in the back loop only, and I'll show you how it looks once it's done. So here I'm done with the last row of half double crochets in the back loop only. And let me just show you guys how this looks when I put it against the book. So here it's covering the front, and you see that it's enough to cover the spine, and it kind of falls down a little bit on this side as well. So now I'm just going to be crocheting half double crochet normally, and the number of rows that you do after this should be exactly same to the number that you did here. So like I mentioned, I did 19 rows of half double crochet here before I started with the first row for the spine. So after I'm done with the last row of the spine, I'm going to be crocheting 19 rows of normal half double crochet. So once you're done with the last row, just chain 2, yarn over, turn your work around, yarn over, and insert your hook into the next stitch, pull through. So just keep doing exactly what we did to cover the front of the book. So the number of rows that you did for the front, you should do the same number for the back of the book cover, so it's equal on both the sides. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm done with the 19 rows for the other side as well. So I'm just gonna chain 1 and fasten off. So here I'm done with the cover, and to see how the book fits, I'm just gonna place it here in the middle. Just bring up the cover, and I hope you guys remember the 3 rows that we crocheted for the flap on both the sides. So that's 1, 2, 3. Count those 3 rows and just hold out the book and just fold it like that. Place it like this and then straighten it a little bit, and then you have the 3 rows, that is 1, 2, 3 on the other side as well. So you can just put them in also like this, and this is how the cover looks at the end. So when we are using the book cover, we shouldn't have to count to 3 rows every time we want to fold it off. So to make it like a proper flap, we are just going to be stitching this side and this side just for these 3 rows. So let me just show you how to do that. Grab one end of your cover, count 3 rows. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and just fold it like this. Make sure you count the rows properly. And once you've folded it, grab your needle, and we are just going to use the same color that we used for the cover to insert the yarn into your needle and just tie 2 knots. Now just hold your flap like this and make sure that you align the stitches. So let me just show you. You see one here and then another one here, and then there's one right here. Yes. Yeah, one right here and another one right here. So we're just going to be stitching this particular length only. So just insert your needle and pull. Now insert your needle back from the next stitch and pull. So just do this for the 3 rows that we have folded to make the flap for our book. So this flap, like I mentioned, is going to help us hold the book in place when we use the book cover. I'm just going to stitch twice so it stays in place well. You can do once also if you like. I just like to do 2 just to make sure it's not going to come off or anything. So once you're done with this, just cut off the longer end of the yarn. Make sure you have enough length to weave in the ends. And this particular end of the yarn, I'm just going to be weaving it in facing inside the cover. So for weaving in the ends, just insert them through the stitches here. Just make sure that you don't insert it in a way that it's visible on the outside. Just insert it through a few stitches, and then you can just cut it off. So here you're done with one side. Now follow the exact same process to stitch in this end and the other end as well. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So this is how it looks when I'm done stitching these 2 sides for the flap. And I've done it on the other side as well. So I can just place my book here like this and just place it on this side and this side as well. And this is how it looks once I'm done placing it on both the sides, and you see it's very comfortable to carry and cover stays in place as well. So to make the edges a little bit more even and give a proper finishing, So I'm just gonna grab this complementing color. You can either use the same color or you can use a complementing one. It's completely up to you. And just insert your hook into this hole right here. And since this is the flap, make sure to insert it through both the flaps. Grab your yarn and just put it through that hole. And then chain 2. Once you're done with the chain 2, yarn over and just insert the hook into every space that you see and do a half double crochet. So here there is a space right here, so insert your hook, do a half double crochet, and this is how it's gonna look. So just make sure that the half double crochets are a little close together and just continue doing them. It'll be a little hard when you're doing it through the flap, but once you reach this part, it becomes extremely easy. So just yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through all. Continue doing half double crochets all across into every space. So here you see one, you do a half double crochet in that. So just continue doing this all across here and do it in this area as well. So once I reach there, I'll show you how to do it here. So you can do it through this entire area and then come back and then crochet this as well all the way around. So this is how it looks when I'm done with one side and I've reached this corner. So in this corner, I'm just going to chain 1 and yarn over and then insert your hook into this stitch right here. Make sure to go through both the loops, pull through and do a half double crochet. The chain one that we did helps define the corner a little bit, and this actually is comparatively easier since you have stitches. So just yarn over and make sure you go through both the loops. So just insert your hook through both the loops like this. You see, I have put them through both the loops. Yarn over, pull through, and half double crochet. Now you skip this part, and then in this space right here, you again insert it through both the loops and do a half double crochet. So you're just gonna continue doing this all across this side. So when it comes to this side, there's no exact number of stitches that you have to do since we are not inserting these half double crochets into proper stitches but into rows. But just to keep track, you can make sure that every row has at least one half double crochet. So as you can see here, this row has this, and then every row has at least one half double crochet. So when you're doing this side, make sure you insert your half double crochet through both the sides. So if you see that I have them on this side and this side as well, so it looks a little bit more uniform, and just continue doing half double crochets and follow the same pattern all the way through here until you reach back at this end. And on every corner, just chain 1. So when you reach this corner as well, just chain 1 and then continue doing half double crochets. Same with this corner. And I'll meet you once I'm done. Now I know the cover looks a little plain, so we are going to be adding pockets to store things over here. So if you want to store your highlighters or your sticky notes or anything that you usually use while you're reading a book, you're going to make a small pocket to store all of that here. I'm going to start by crocheting a heart in this color. So we'll be starting off with a magic ring. So hold the end of your yarn like this, pull up the longer end and make an X. Insert your hook into this space right here, pull up the second strand and just hold it there like this and just chain 1. So we are going to be chaining 2 more. So we do a total of 3 chains and then we are going to do 11 double crochets into this space right here. So just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So just keep doing double crochets. We are going to be doing a total of 11 double crochets, and including the chain 3 that we did right here, it's going to be a total of 12 double crochets. So I'm going to be crocheting my last double crochet, and here I'm done with my 12 double crochets. So after you're done with your 12 double crochets, that is including the chain 3 that we did in the starting, just pull up this shorter strand of yarn and close off the loop. And then we're just gonna insert our hook into the chain 3. So you remember the chain 3 that we did? We're just gonna insert our hook into that space, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. So for the second row, we are going to be skipping the first two stitches, that is this one and this one. And then we're going to yarn over twice and insert our hook into the third stitch. And we are going to be doing a triple crochet. So yarn over and pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Now in the same stitch, we are going to be doing a total of 8 triple crochets. So we have 7 left. So in the same stitch, do a total of 8 triple crochets. So here I have to do my last triple crochet in this stitch. So yarn over twice, insert my hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, 2 loops and 2 loops. Now after this, we are going to be doing 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over once, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through 2 loops and pull through 2 loops. So repeat that once again in the next stitch, a double crochet as well. So pull through 2 and pull through 2, and here we are done with 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Now in the next stitch, we are going to be doing a double and a triple crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop and do a double crochet, and in the same stitch we are going to do a triple crochet. So yarn over twice, pull through 2 and then pull through 2. So this is how it looks right now. You can see that the shape of the heart is kind of starting to form. Now after you're done with this, we are going to chain 1. So just do 1 chain, and then in the next stitch we are going to be doing a triple crochet and a double crochet. So yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch and do a triple crochet, and in the same stitch we are going to be doing a double crochet. So in the next 2 stitches after this, we are going to be doing 2 double crochets. So insert your hook and do 1 double crochet, yarn over, and in the next stitch another double crochet. And in the next stitch right here, we are going to be doing 8 triple crochets like we did in the starting. So just yarn over twice, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through and pull through 3 times, and then just repeat this until you have a total of 8 triple crochets in the same stitch right here. Now after you are done with this, you are going to slip stitch in this space right here. So you see the first stitch, you're just gonna do a slip stitch right here. And you can see that the heart shape has been formed really well. So we are gonna fasten off, just chain 1 and fasten off. So this is how the heart looks. Now I'm going to be building a square around it, and for the square I'll be using the same color that I used for the entire cover. So to start off building the square around this, we are going to be inserting our yarn in the 4th triple crochet that we did. So just pick out the 8 triple crochets that you did in the round 2. For me it is here, and then just out of them the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So in this space right here is where I'm going to start. So this is going to be one of the corners for my square. So just find out your 4th triple crochet, that is this one for me, insert your hook into that stitch, and then pull out the yarn that you're going to be using. Can be the same color or different color, it's completely up to you, and just pull it through that, and then we chain 3. So in the same stitch we are going to be doing a double crochet as well. So double crochet, and then we do a half double crochet, and after the half double crochet in the next stitch we're going to be doing a single crochet, and then we do a half double crochet again, and then a double crochet, and then a triple crochet. So you guys just have to remember the kind of pattern that this is going to follow is you're going to start off with a double crochet, then a half double, then a single, and then a half double and a double, and then a triple. And then once you're done with the triple, we are going to be crocheting a corner here again. So for that we are going to do 2 triple crochets in the next stitch. So yarn over twice, insert the hook, and do 2 triple crochets. 1, 2, and then we are going to chain 2, and then in the same stitch that we did the 2 triple crochets in, we are going to do another 2 triple crochets. So oops, so yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and pull through 2, pull through 2, and another one. So after this we are going to follow the same pattern again, that is double crochet, and then a half double crochet, and then in this chain 1 space that we have right here, we are going to be doing a single crochet. So this is how it looks so far, and after this single crochet we are going to be doing half double crochet again, and then a double crochet, and then what we did here, that is 2 triple crochets, chain 2 and 2 triple crochets, we are going to be repeating that for the next stitch. So do 2 triple crochets, chain 2, and then do 2 triple crochets in the same stitch. 1 and 2, and then once you are done with this, we are going to be doing a triple crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet, and then a half double crochet, and after the half double crochet we do a single crochet, and then another half double crochet again, and in the next stitch we are going to do the same that we did here, but instead of triple crochets we are going to be doing double crochets. So yarn over once, insert your hook, pull up a loop, we do 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet, and then we chain 2 and do another 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Yeah, and in the next stitch we are going to do half double crochet again, so you can see that the square is building up pretty well around the heart, and we are almost done. Now once you are done with the half double crochet, in the next 2 stitches we are going to be doing a double crochet decrease. We're just going to yarn over, insert our hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then we yarn over and just pull through 2 loops and keep it there, and then we yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then we yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops. So this is a double crochet decrease. We'll be doing that one more time, so I'll show you once again. After that, we are in this space right here that we had done the slip stitch after the second row. we are going to be doing a triple crochet. So yarn over twice, insert our hook into that space, yarn over and pull through two loops, pull through two and pull through two. So this is how it looks. And then in the next two stitches, we are again going to be doing a decrease double crochet. So yarn over once, insert our hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through two loops. And then we yarn over again, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then we pull through two loops and pull through all the three loops. So this is how it looks. And after this decrease, we are going to be doing a half double crochet in the next stitch. So after the half double crochet, in this stitch right here where we did the chain 3 and 1 double crochet, in the same stitch we are going to be doing 2 double crochets. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we do another double crochet, and then we are going to be chaining 2, and in this space right here we do a slip stitch. So this is how it looks at the end. And we are going to be doing one more round to make the heart even more defined, and we can get a comparatively bigger pocket also for our book cover. So for the next round, I'm going to continue with the same color. So I'm just going to chain 3. So after the slip stitch, I'm going to be starting my 4th row. So we get a little bigger pocket also, and it makes the square look more defined. So for the 4th row, I'm going to be chaining 3, and then we do a double crochet in this space right here. And then in the next 9 stitches, we are going to be doing 9 double crochets. So just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and do a double crochet. So we are going to be doing double crochets for the next 9 stitches. That's 1, 2. So here I'm done with my 9 double crochets, and I have reached my chain 2 space right here. So in this space, I'm going to do 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and then 2 double crochets again. So these set of stitches help us define the corner. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets all in the same space. So after this, we are going to repeat what we have done here. So we do 9 double crochets till we reach the space right here. And in the space, we do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and another 2 double crochets. So you just have to continue doing this. So 9 double crochets till you reach the space. And once you reach the space, you do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets in the same space. And then you repeat this all over again till you reach this corner. So I'll meet you once I'm done. So as you can see, I'm done with all the sides and I've reached the end. So in the starting, we have just done chain 3 and a double crochet in this space. So now we are going to be doing 2 double crochets in the same space. And after the 2 double crochets, we are going to chain 2 and slip stitch into this space right here. And then I'm just going to chain 1 and fasten off. So this is the granny square that we are going to be stitching on our book cover. So just grab your book cover, and this is how we are going to be stitching it. You can stitch it on either side and just make sure that you try to keep it in the center. So to stitch the granny square with our book cover, we are going to use a needle. So now we're going to stitch the pocket in place. And one thing you have to make sure is not to stitch the top of the pocket. We are just going to be stitching this side, and this side. So we're going to be stitching 3 sides. So this is the side that we can use to store our stuff. So for stitching it together, I'm going to use the same yarn that I used for my square. So once you're all set with your needle, just make sure that the pocket is exactly in the place that you want it to be. And then just grab one corner and insert your needle through that corner and make sure it comes out on the other side, and just pull it up like that. And just after that, now from the back right here, you're gonna stitch it to reach this stitch right here and pull the yarn, and just keep doing this all across. Just insert it into the stitch right here, pull it through the back, and make sure to pull it tight since we don't want things to fall off. And to make sure that you're stitching it straight, just pick out one row and align your pocket to that row and then start stitching from there. So the one thing that's going to be a little difficult is pushing the needle from the back to the front because it needs to be perfectly aligned, but you'll get the hang of it as you keep doing it. And just continue doing this for this entire side, this side and this side. And once you're done, you will have an extremely efficient and a cute way of storing all your stationeries whenever you're using the book cover. So I'll meet you once I'm done. One another tip that I have for you guys, if you are crocheting from the back to the front. So as I told you, just align the pocket square with one row. So this is the row that I've chosen. Pick out the same row on the back. So that is this one right here. And once you insert your needle through one of the stitches, you can see that it perfectly comes out on the other side also. So never mind. So this is one tip that you guys can use. So just make sure to align it with one particular row and you can insert your stitches from the back through that row itself. So here, as you can see, I'm done stitching the pocket and I've put it to my book also, so you can see that it looks very cute and I can store a lot of things in this pocket. So I can just store my highlighters, maybe sticky notes as well. And you can just carry this whenever you're going out for reading sessions rather than having to carry an entire bag and stationeries inside it.